This is the DAR Today podcast, and I'm your host, Brooke Bullmaster Stewart. Well, as I said, we're going on the road with Harvey the RV, my husband and myself, hitting about 32 states. We're so excited. We've been meeting daughters all along the way, and right now we are at Glacier National Park, and it's gorgeous in Montana. What a beautiful state. Today's episode, thankfully, is edited together by Allison Manella, one of the national vice chairs on the DAR Today podcast committee. So we're so thankful for her. And today's episode is all about our incredible junior membership. Established in 1937 under the leadership of President General Florence Becker, this committee has been dedicated to engaging young Americans in patriotic education and encouraging DAR membership from its inception. Junior membership is granted to individuals who join DAR before their 36th birthday. Junior members have full membership rights and can hold any office or chairmanship within DAR, provided they've met the requirements. Considering the significant life events occurring between the ages of 18 and 36, it's no surprise that juniors are typically very busy. They're often navigating college, serving in the military, establishing themselves in their careers, and starting families. Despite their busy lives, these juniors are also mothers, sisters, daughters, aunts, and friends, all united by their shared love for their country and their desire to be a part of a service-oriented organization, which is exactly what DAR offers. Now you may be thinking, aren't juniors those girls in white dresses? Well, the answer is yes and no. Paging has always been and always will be associated with the juniors. Many juniors page at the state and national levels, finding a deep sense of purpose and friendship in this service. However, at the national level, a member can page until her 41st birthday. Some states have their own age limit. So the important note is that the junior member designation ends on a member's 36th birthday, and paging ends on her 41st birthday. Let's take a closer look at the Junior Membership Committee and how junior hearts sparkle in service across our society. The Helen Pouch Memorial Fund was established in 1938 in memory of Mrs. Helena Pouch's daughter, Helen, who passed away in 1919 during the Spanish flu pandemic. Mrs. Pouch served as the first director of junior members, which is now known as our first chair. The initial fundraising efforts for the DAR schools were very successful, resulting in the award of 3 $100 scholarships in the first year. Over time, the fund has expanded, and it now supports 3 main areas of awards: the Junior Membership Classroom Grants Program, DAR Schools, and the National Junior Committee or Community Project. To further explore junior membership classroom grants, I was delighted to sit down with Melinda Williams and Rebecca Armstrong, National Vice Chairs of Junior Membership Classroom Grant Awards. Melinda Williams and Rebecca Armstrong, thank you so much for being here with us today. Of course, you both are the co-national vice chairs for the Helen Pouch Memorial Fund Classroom Grants. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about these classroom grants? Because I have a feeling that maybe not everybody knows what these are all about.
Absolutely, Brooke. So since its inception, the Helen Pouch Memorial Fund has traditionally supported the DAR's mission of education, which we know is one of our pillars. And it is always the desire of the juniors to help as many students as possible, as you know, through our projects through the years. And this allows each state to support classrooms and juniors to have the impact in their community that may not be their primary DAR school that they support.
So the great thing about these grants is that they're $500. We're able to give them out during 2 cycles, so twice a year, and they're for classroom teachers through grades K through 12.
Isn't that new too, Rebecca? I think the 2 cycles, didn't it used to be just 1?
It is. So under the Wright administration, Mrs. Pamela Wright, President General, was able to allow us to give out 2 now grants. So we give 1 out in the springtime and 1 out in the fall time.
Which is a total of 4 grants per state, which is amazing. So if a teacher is heavier in the classroom in the fall, or a new teacher is trying to get their classroom set up, they'll have that opportunity as well as in the spring too.
That's really exciting because I think everybody just got in that same pattern where, oh, I missed it. I guess I have to wait a year. Tell us about the amount of grants per state, I believe you said.
So each state has the opportunity to get a total of 4 grants, but 2 per cycle. Mine and Rebecca's goal for the Wright administration is to have 100% participation from all 50 states, and we're very, very close. So we're really hoping the last year of the administration we can pull out that 100% participation. I think, Becca, remind us what the stats were for the Wright administration.
During the Wright administration, we have been able to give out 293 Helen Pouch Memorial Fund classroom grants, which is over $150,000.
That's fantastic. But where does that money all come from?
It's from you all, from our members. When you go buy our pins, when you shop in Congress at our junior shop, any donation you give us, the donation for the Friends of Junior membership.
And of course, we can't forget about our juniors that heart, that support, like our 5K that started during COVID, and just our general donations that come in. That allows us to not only give this money for these grants, but it also allows the junior membership committee nationally to give out grants to our schools, to organizations that are close to our hearts. Like Becca said, we are 100% relying on the membership, not just juniors, but juniors at heart.
What might be something that someone would be surprised to learn about this whole classroom grant program?
Absolutely. So I think probably the biggest unknown thing is that you don't have to be a DAR member to receive this grant money. We really encourage our chapters to work either with schools they already support or post on social media to get the attraction of other teachers outside of that school they support or that one teacher in their chapter, to enable the word of DAR and the work that we do to extend outside of their chapter. We also really work very closely with all of our state chairs to ensure that if there is a teacher that wants to apply for a grant but doesn't really know how to connect to a chapter, we help those teachers connect to state chairs, as well as we encourage our state chairs to connect them to chapters as well.
These grants do not have to be used for, learning history, American Revolution. It could be almost anything to benefit the students that are learning. I have one great example that I would love to share. There was a teacher who teaches the blind and visually impaired, and he wanted to have his students go and see Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. And so with the $500, he was able to buy everyone a ticket to the theater, Braille copies of A Christmas Carol, as well as any additional needs that these students need. So the ones that were completely blind, they received like a play-by-play transaction. Some also received earpieces with a person narrating it. When I read the application, it really made me proud to be able to serve the organization to help these kids with a once-in-a-lifetime experience. A lot of times teachers, schools don't have the money to allow these kids to go and do something that they probably would never have the opportunity for. So that's one thing I'm so thankful for about these junior membership classroom grants is we're able to not only help our communities, but our states. And I think, Melinda, you have a really good one too that we actually got this year.
Absolutely. So the one that probably touches me, and as Rebecca said, these grants don't have to be specifically focused on Revolutionary War history. It can provide sensory rooms in the school. It can provide flexible seating needs for the classroom, whether that's books, whether that's an additional kind of learning opportunity. But this one was probably also the coolest as well, or one of the coolest. I mean, they all are so incredibly impactful. But a brand new teacher had a fire in the school over the Christmas holidays and lost everything in her classroom. And because of this grant, she teaches special and gifted students, which some of the materials that she requires for her classroom for them to learn can be quite expensive. So she was able to use the money from this grant to be able to repurchase some of the items that were lost during that fire, so that when the kids came back from the Christmas break, she was able to have what they needed to be able to continue learning for the rest of the year. So it is just such a great opportunity for us to provide not only something, like Rebecca said, that gives teachers the opportunity to make an impact, but it's investing in our students. And once again, circling back to that pillar of education that the DAR truly focuses on.
Exactly. How many times, honestly, have we heard people say, well, the classrooms, the schools just don't have money for the extras anymore. And in my day, we were able to do home education classes or anybody could do shop class or whatever. And it's like, okay, this is money. When you support the junior shop, the junior 5K, any of these things where the money goes into the Helen Pouch Memorial Fund, any of those things, that's supporting those extras. And you think about your two examples that you just gave. Those are extras, like you said, that they normally don't have money for. And so that's a great opportunity and a great way to kind of put your money where your mouth is. If you're thinking that this is a missed opportunity in these classes to not have extras, well, the DAR is providing these grants to give the, money for the extras and sometimes the necessary, right? The necessities.
Absolutely. And I encourage, when I was junior membership chair, I encourage my chapter regents to really look for a special need in the classrooms or in the schools that they work in to see if there's something that this money could help support. Because while it does need to support a classroom, it can also benefit a school. I spoke earlier about the sensory room. And that's something that a classroom teacher applied for and received the grant for, but it benefits the entire school. It's not just specifically for her classroom, which overall invests in a lot more people than just the 25 or 30 kids that she teaches on a daily basis.
Well, Melinda and Rebecca, thank you so much for being here with us, for taking the time. We're really excited to learn more about these grants, and I can't wait till the end of the Wright administration when we can see how many grants you ended up giving out.
And if you're interested in applying for a grant, please talk either if you are a current DAR member to your chapter, who then also can talk to your state junior membership chair, but all information is also posted on our national website.
Thank you so much. The National Junior Committee Project was established during the Young administration to provide funds to a non-DAR affiliated nonprofit organization whose purpose relates to the objectives of the National Society, which is a really exciting thing because if you think about it, it expands our reach to those who may not have heard of DAR in the past. At the 133rd Continental Congress, Sarah Brooks, National Chair of Junior Membership, announced that this year's project would support the Veterans Farm of North Carolina, an organization helping veterans of all ages to become self-sufficient farmers and to further expand their operations. The Veterans Farm of North Carolina is receiving 5 tiny homes from an organization called Purple Heart Homes, and the Junior Membership Committee has donated $60,000 to be used to install these little homes on the farm there in the city of Cameron. These homes will be used by veterans attending the Veterans Farm of North Carolina program from outside of North Carolina and in need of temporary housing. How exciting to be part of such an impactful project. At this year's Junior Membership Luncheon, it was announced that donations totaling over $111,000 were distributed to the DAR schools. These funds will be used to support various projects. Additionally, the Junior Membership Committee donated more than $57,000 to the NSDAR Operating Fund, which was designated to the DAR store staff as an appreciation for their hard work and dedication in facilitating the junior shop sales throughout the year via the DAR store. If you're wondering how you can support the Helen Pouch Memorial Fund, there are several ways to get involved. These include making direct contributions to the fund, purchasing junior sales items, taking part in the Helen Pouch Memorial 5K, what a fun way to get involved and to support. In fact, remember that with regard to the Junior Membership 5K during the Wright administration, this will be the final one during her administration. So far, we have received 2 beautiful pieces of the 3-part medallion. Be sure to sign up for the next one to not only support the fund, but to receive the last piece of the wonderfully designed complete medallion. For more information, see the Junior Membership Committee page on our website, and of course, as always, we'll add a link in the show notes for you. We leave you today with this quote by Harriet Tubman. "Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world." Well, thanks for listening and be well, dear friends. Let's celebrate the stars and stripes forever, and remember, with all of your ancestors behind you, you are the result of the love of thousands. Well, this podcast was written and produced by our incredible team of writers and editors, and we are, as always, so grateful for President General Pamela Edwards Rouse Wright and Historian General Suzanne Heskey for their constant guidance, to Sarah Grace Brooks, Melinda Williams, and Rebecca Armstrong, and also to Allison Minella for being so generous with their time. The National Society Daughters of the American Revolution is a nonprofit, non-political, volunteer women's service organization dedicated to preserving our American history, securing the nation's future through better education, and promoting American patriotism. Members are all lineal descendants of those who supported the cause of independence in the Revolutionary War. For more information, please visit dar.org. This is the DAR Today podcast.